Ayan. So, kindly interrupt me na lang, class, if ever na na may magpapa-admit kasi hindi ko na po kayo makikita. Okay? So, may nagpo-flash na po ba? Ayan. So, we will follow this module na galing sa central office. And i-discuss natin to. Okay? This will also given to the digital and printed modular ng mga students ko. Okay? So, yung module 1 natin will be the preparation of the statement of financial position or the balance sheet, which I already discussed. So, ano ba pagkakaiba ng online session at saka ng printed and digital? So, usually, wala talagang discussion nga sa printed and digital kasi self-learning module ito. So, kailangan nilang basahin yung what I need to know. Okay? What I know. And of course, may self-assessment din sila. So, ang module talaga, class, is naka-design para sa, at the end of the module, meron silang tinatawag na answer key, wherein magsa-self-check sila. At kunwari, mali yung nakuha nilang sagot doon, babalikan nila yon. So, kung mapapansin nyo, sa activity sheets din ninyo, na hindi ko sure kung na-post ko na, pero di ba sa mga last time sa mga activity sheets ninyo, may mga part na may answer key, may mga part na walang answer key. So, it is up to you guys to be honest kung magsasagot ba kayo na nakadiretso ka agad sa answer key or babasahin nyo. Either way, nasa sa inyo naman yan kung gusto nyo matuto or hindi. But I suggest, and highly recommended na basahin nyo lahat ng what I need to know, what I know. May mga pre-test pa yan. By the way, sa digital and printed ko na makakapanood nito, gagawin nyo po lahat ng activities na nandyan. Okay? So, ang pagkakaiba naman sa online, yes, gagawin din natin, pero on the spot natin nyo sasagutan. Okay? Hindi na maghihintay ng matagal pa. Okay?
Excuse me po.
Yes?
Admit daw po si Flex, ma'am.
Ay, okay. O, lahat ba? Nakapasok na? Yan. Basta paka-interrupt na lang ako, class, ha? Kasi hindi ko nga yan nakikita. So, sa mga nahuli po, nire-review lang natin kung ano yung diniscuss natin last time. But this time, ang sinushow ko is the module. Ito yung printed module na binibigay namin sa digital and bukas pa kasi namin maibibigay yun kasi tawag doon, nagkaroon ng hold muna. And sa mga printed po, I encourage you na please mag-digital na kayo kasi may senior high school na po tayong nag-positive na rin. May junior high school na rin po tayong nag-positive na rin po sa COVID. So, hindi po natin alam kung sino po ang carrier. And syempre, health is wealth. So, hindi po pumayag si Mayor na sa school yata magdi-distribute. So, ang risk nun is si teacher po ang pupunta sa bawat barangay to distribute your modules. So, if you can pass it digitally, yes, mahirap sa part nyo as a student and sa amin din as teachers. Pero, it's safer, di ba? Mas okay na yung gumastos tayo ng konti, magsakripisyo po tayo ng konti. Okay lang naman, class, na ipasa nyo sa akin via messenger, pagtsatsagaan ko yan. Okay? O, masakit sa mata, nangyari na natin yan last time. Pero it is much safer for your family, for you as a student, and of course for us teachers. Okay? Anyway, let's proceed. So, after going to this module, ito yung last time na topic natin. You're going to identify the elements of statement of financial position or what we call the, ano nga uli yan? Well known siya sa pangalang class. Last week pa to natin na topic. Review lang. Ano lang to? Pasada. What you call the?
Balance sheet.
Balance sheet. And we have two kinds of form. The report form and the
Account form.
yes, account form. So usually, ang Buti na lang
Ma'am,
bumalik siya uli.
pa-admit daw po si Brex.
Okay. Na-add ko naman na yata. Di pa ba?
Ma'am, wala pa raw po.
Na-add ko na kanina. Mag-request nga siya uli. Nandiyan naman na si Brex. Ayan. So, let's start na. Kasi ano lang naman to. Nako. Ayan. So, sabi ko nga, there are two classifications na statement of financial position, the report form and the account form. So, usually, we use the report form. Okay? Because it is more formal. Okay? So, one of the prerequisite, of course, of this accountancy and business management 2 is your FAB1 or accounting 1. So, it is necessary that you need to recall all the things that you have learned. But unfortunately, hindi na ninyo natapos yung accounting cycle. So, it is a must that while discussing this topic, babalik-balikan din natin yung mga parts na hindi nyo na-discuss sa accounting 1. Maglalaan din ako ng time talaga na mai-discuss yung mga after nung adjusting entry. Although na-discuss naman na natin doon sa ibang session, pero yung thorough discussion talaga. Okay? I will also post the PowerPoint presentation again nung accounting 1 para at least kahit paano kung hindi man natin ma-discuss, you may allot time to read. Then if you have questions habang related sa topic natin, you can ask. Okay? So, isa ito sa mga ipapagawa ko. You may also answer this one for your review. So, ano bang tawag doon pag sinabing the book of original entry? So, assets are equal to liabilities and owner's equity. So, ano ba to? So, is it true na asset should be equals to liabilities and owner's equity? Okay? So, this is the accounting equation. Okay? So, are what the company owns. This is the selected lang ha. So, this is the debit. Asset ba? What the company owed? Liability ba? Okay? Ano ba yung second accounting cycle? Ayan. So, ilan yan sa mga kailangan nyong review. Okay? This is somewhat like a, yes! Na-accept ko na si Brex. Brex, nandyan ka na ba?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
PM mo nga si Ken. Oo! Pasensya na, 4 kami nag-online class. Yung magkakarinigan. Yan. Oo nga, na-accept ko na! So, ito, another review sa inyo. Ano bang tawag kapag nasa left side? The left side is the debit and the right side is the credit. So, dito, na-discuss ko rin siya yung last time kung ano yung tinatawag na permanent accounts. Okay? So, these are also called real accounts. Ito usually yung mga accounts na naka-carry over doon sa pag-prepare natin ng statement of financial position. Okay? These are the asset, liabilities, and of course, the owner's equity. Okay? Sino ang tumatawag? Wait lang. Sino ang tumatawag? Excuse us. Hello, Ma'am Lerms? Yes, ma'am? Ay, itanong na lang natin kay ma'am. Itanong natin kay Ma'am Dolores. Kasi sa ako siya, ma'am, officer ko pa man din siya. Itanong na lang natin, ma'am, kung anong solusyon po dyan. Pwede naman yata yan na kung may remove or what. Mamaya na, Ma'am Lerms. Pwede yan, Ma'am Lerms. Kasi parang nangyari sa amin noon ni Ma'am Ren. Conflicting ganyan eh. Parang na-enroll din niya. Kasi nasa list din niya. Yun. Sige, Ma'am Lerms. Bye lang saglit. May online class ko, Ma'am Lerms. Bye, Ma'am Lerms. Yan. Sorry for that class. Nasaan tayo? Dito pa rin. Ayan. So, the account form and report form are the two kinds of forms of the statement of financial position. So, true or false? Bahala na yung magsasagot dyan. Hindi ko sasagot na, syempre, unfair naman. Anyway, so when you say financial statement, it is a structured representation of an entity financial position, which is balance sheet and results of its operation, which is the statement of performance. So sabi ko nga, it is very significant in the investors as well as to the owners of the company because it will tell you the status report of your company, whether do you have a lot of assets, are you capable of paying your liabilities, mga ganon. The investors may see it if it is okay to invest in your company, or the owner may see it as if you have a lot of assets and your position is doing well, meaning you may expand your business. Ayan. So, the elements of financial positions are as follows. So, ito yung mga permanent accounts. Assets, which are the resources you control that have resulted from past events and can provide you with the future economic benefits. Kung may economic benefits, that is your assets. It is also divided into two, the current assets and the non-current assets. So when you say current assets, usually you can liquidate it within a year, and non-current assets, it may took you long, sometimes short-term assets ang sinatawag or long-term assets. Ito yung mga ibang term ng current and non-current assets. Same goes with the liabilities. So pag sinabing liabilities naman, these are your present obligations that have resulted from the past events, and it can require you give up resources when settling them. So for example, nag-file kayo ng bankruptcy. Siyempre wala nang pambayad na cash, pero may mga iba ka pang assets. So there's a possibility na doon nila kukunin yung pambayad mo, mga liability mo, para maset lang yon, para mawalan ka ng utang, kumbaga. Okay? So, just there are two kinds, the current and non-current liabilities. So, same goes with the asset. It depends on the number of years. Doon sabihin ko yung activity, the activity 2, yung may naka-enclose parenthesis, tanong kasi sa akin na, mapapig sabihin ng 1.5. It indicates the years. So, 1 year and 5 months. Para ma-determine mo if that is a current or non-current asset. So, yun yung nakalagay dun sa exercise no last time, ha? Then, equity means asset minus liabilities. Other terms for equity are capital, net assets, and of course, net worth. Okay? So, ito yung, ang concern dito is yung capital, yung first investment mo, the withdrawal of the owner, and of course, the result of the statement increment where you deduct the income incurred with the company minus the expenses. If the income is higher than your expenses, then you have an income. But if the expenses are higher, you have a net loss. Okay? The above elements are termed permanent accounts because their fullness continues throughout the life of the company. So, yung income and expenses do not belong to the permanent accounts. Okay? So, hindi po siya belong doon. So, another that you need to answer, especially for the digital and printed, what's in? Okay, so dito, nilalagay kung ano yung mga activities. Okay? For example, identify all the asset, liabilities, own equity of your family, and asset. Remember, so you identify the elements of the financial position. So, sa activity naman na pinagawa ko sa inyo, for my online students, is you need to identify your personal asset, personal liability, and owner's equity. So, tanong last time, ma'am, paano po kung wala ako, liability, okay lang po ba to assume? Okay lang naman. So, assume kung talagang katotohanan na wala talaga tayong liability, you can put 0 naman. Okay? So, ano bang tawag dito? Asset equals liability plus owner equity. This is the very significant accounting equation. So, just using algebra and kunwari, ang given is liabilities and asset and you're going to identify your owner's equity. You just use the transposition method, di ba? Para makapag-derive ng formula. Okay? Remember, students can borrow books from their neighbor about the accounting or can browse the notes in FAB1 for understand the topic of statement of financial position. Repetition of the words in its use will make the students remember, retain those account titles in their mind as stock knowledge. Kaya nga sabi ko sa inyo, I am hoping na kapag nakapunta ako ng school bukas, makakuha ako ng accounting books. And if you want to borrow, or nagkaroon ba kayo ng accounting books ng FAB1 and FAB2? Kahit siguro nasa most essential learning competencies tayo, at least you have something that you can read. So, unfortunately nga lang, wala tayong way para may distribute yon kasi pinagbawalan nga. Ang lalayo pa man din ninyo. Okay? Kaya siguro ang pinaka-best way is, of course, whatever it is na notes na meron ako, soft copy, I will send it via Google Classroom so that you can read it. Okay? Browse it. Ayan. So ito nga, pakisagot nga to muna. What are the two forms again of the financial position? Class? Anyone?
Account form tsaka report form.
What are the difference between account form and the report form? What is the difference? Anyone?
Ma'am, sa account form po is yung format po is yung asset po ma'am is nasa left side tapos yung liability and owner's equity po ma'am is nasa right side while sa report form po ma'am is padiretso lang po yung ano niya ma'am format.
Yes. So ito yung ito yung tinatawag kong para mas madali ma-picture ninyo yung vertical and horizontal. Pag sa report form, naka-vertical line siya. Kapag account form, naka-horizontal line siya. Okay? Acting, parang pag account form siya, parang naka-debit and credit side siya. Ganun ang ano niya. So, what are the kinds of assets again? And give me the difference.
Ma'am, current assets and non-current assets. The non-current assets.
What
Current
is the
assets,
difference?
yung ma'am, in-expect mo na na ma-liquidate into cash or magamit po within a year. While the non-current assets po, ma'am, also called long-term assets, ma'am, mag-exceed po siya sa isang taon po.
Very good, Brex. How about the kinds of liabilities? Yes, Jonathan again.
Ma'am, there are two kinds of liabilities, ma'am. Yung current liabilities and non-current liabilities po. When we say current liabilities po, ma'am, yung kaya mong bayaran within a year po, ma'am. Tapos yung non-current liabilities po, ma'am, is lagpas po siya ng 1 year, ma'am. Or long-term debt.
Ayun. So parang katulad lang siya ng non-current and of course current assets. So these are the two forms of statement of financial position, the report form and the account form. So report form is usually the form used for submission to the government agencies and financial institutions such as banks. You can use any of the form depending on the one who makes the report in the company. Okay, so this is what you call the What is this? Account or report form?
Ma'am, account form po.
Yes, account form. Kasi ang report form, yun yung naka-vertical line. So ito yung account form. Okay? Ito, nasa debit assets because nasa left side ay debit. Ito naman yung credit, yung liabilities, ang owner's equity. So the format given above is the account form. All assets are found on the left side of the account. Liabilities, owner's equity account are found on the right side of the account. Okay? The table shows the report form format for the statement of financial position. Ito naman yung example nun, which also shows the parts of the statement of financial position. You have the heading, okay? You have the name of the company, the type of financial statement, and of course, sabi ko nga, usually by the end of year, ginagawa itong balance sheet. Pero yung may mga ibang company din na gumagawa ng quarterly, ayan, iba combine na lang sila. Pero usually, nangyayari, ginagawa ito sa every end of the year. Kasi dito rin i-base kung how much kung babayaran mong taxes, kung magre-renew ka ng business permits, yan, hinihingi din yan. So we have the current and of course non-current assets. So na-explain ko na yan dati. Kung hindi pa kayo masyadong sure na yun talaga ang value or wala na kayong ididigraft, dito nyo i-direct. Pero kung meron pa, yung tinatawag natin contra assets, one of the contra assets is allowance for doubtful account. So dinidak niya dun sa accounts receivable. Kapag nadidak na, saka mo palang ilalagay dito sa right side. Okay, then add the total current and non-current assets. So yung total assets mo should equal kapag pinag-add mo naman yung current and non-current liabilities plus the owner's equity. Okay? So ito naman more on ano lang eh. Hindi ko na natin sasagutan to, but if you want to answer, don't worry, I will also post this one. Yung material na ito. So you have more material to review in preparation for your quiz. Ayan. Doon na daw si Toron. Anyway, so information about the revenue expenses provided by, ano kaya? Statement of changes in equity, statement of cash flow, statement of financial position, statement of performance. So this is just more or less some of the things that you need to review in your accounting one. Okay? Kasi may mga pre-test and post-test din dyan. Hindi ko sasagutan kasi pag napanood baka ng digital tsaka printed, wala na. Hindi na sila magbabasa. Okay? Siguro ito, i-ano lang natin to. Ito yung sinasabi kong you need to derive a formula out of the accounting equations. For example, the accounting equation is asset is equals to liability and owner's equity. So if you have a given, an asset having a 200,000 and a liability of 75,000, how much is your owner's equity? Anyone? Elizabeth, ay wait lang. Hindi ko pa na-admit. Sino yung papapasok lang? Oh, yes, kaya Biab?
Ma'am, 125,000.
125,000. How did you come up with that? You just deduct 200,000 minus 75,000. So, ganun lang kasimple. So, huwag katakutan si accounting. As long as you know how to analyze. Actually, mga simple pa yan na example. Hindi pa tayo pumapasok. Hindi ko pa kayo nabibigyan yung may mga N na discount na, mga ganyan. Don't worry, bibigyan ko kayo ng isang pasada na gagawin nyo from journal entry up to tawag doon, up to preparation of the financial statement. And not just preparing the financial statement, you need to analyze what's the result of that financial statements. Okay? So, yan ang example. So, dito ang nawawala is owner's equity. Dito naman, ang nawawala is liabilities. So pag liabilities naman, you just deduct asset minus owner's equity. That is your liability. Okay? So, yun lang. And what else? So, dito naman, same ng nasa taas. Okay? But this time, you will compute for the current assets. Take note, hindi lang siya basta assets. Current assets. Okay? For example, TN Company had the following accounts at year-end. Cash, 150,000. Accounts payable, 7,000. Prepaid expense, 35,000. Compute for the company's current assets. So, you need to identify, alin ba dyan lang ang mga assets muna. Identify. Anyone? Would like to try? Si Kaya lang ba? Ang estudyante ko, baka meron pang gustong mag-try.
Yung cash at saka account payable.
Angeline, sige. Naman. Balik natin. Sige, isa lang yung sagutan natin. Swerte naman ang digital pag nanood sila. May bonus na silang tama. Anyway, meron naman yung mga answer key.
Ma'am, excuse me po.
Hindi
Ma'am,
naman lahat tama. Yes.
Ma'am, pa-admit daw po si Jairaline Fernandez po.
Wala naman nag-request na dito. I think na-admit ko na. Wala, class. Walang nag-a-appear. Prince rin ko, walang nag-a-appear. Narinig yung anak ko, bye-bye teacher po. Buti nakikiayo ng internet ko ngayon. So anyone? Yes, Angeline?
Ma'am, cash lang po pala kasi po yung accounts payable sa current liabilities po.
How about the prepaid expenses?
Ma'am, saan
kasama po yan?
I want to think about your, hindi ka nasasabihin yung sagot dyan. Don't worry, it will be posted naman. Sige, Jonathan.
Ma'am, current asset din po yung prepaid expenses po.
Okay. Kasi? Are you sure?
Ma'am, kasi, yes po ma'am. Ma'am, kasi hindi pa po nagagamit. Or hindi pa po, kunyari po ma'am, nagbayad po siya ng rent. Parang nagbayad po siya ng
Sino
in
nagbayad
advance.
ng
Parang
rent?
hindi niya po.
Sino
Ma'am,
nagbayad ng
parang,
rent? Ikaw or?
example,
Kailangan ma-clear tayo kung kaninong point of view ito. Is it the point of view of your customer or the point of view of
ma'am, yung
you as the
T-own company po ma'am.
Ma'am, yung
Parang
prepaid expenses po kasi parang advance payments po.
Ni?
Ni Tion Company po.
Sure?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So, I want you to be sure, class. Kasi once na nag-doubt na kayo doon sa sagot ninyo, dyan na nagkakamali yan. So, always remember na hindi lahat ng nakalagay expenses, it belong to expense account. Okay? And we're talking about the statement of financial position here, right? So, there is no what? Ang iti-take over lang ninyo is the real accounts. Okay? And yes, tama, prepaid expenses is a current asset. Once it is being used, automatic, magiging expense na siya. But since hindi pa, it still belong to the asset account. Okay? So how much? You just add cash and
185,000 po.
185,000. So that's it. Okay? Tignan nyo na lang sa answer key kung tama sagot nyo. Pero dapat, natapos nyo dapat ha. Tapos kapag, for example, na-check, kasi self-check tayo class, same as dun sa kapag maipapasagot ako sa inyo sa activity sheets, na nandun naman yung answer key. You may self-check it. Then I will be the one to check yung mga wala naman. Okay? So remember, emphasize again natin, statement of financial position is one of the financial reports submitted by the company to the users of information such as banks and other financial institutions. They are called permanent because of their existence is continuous and the balance is forwarded to the next accounting period. When you say a next accounting period, for example, 2020, nakagawa ka ng statement of financial position, it will carry over whatever amount na nandun, we have cash, ganito, to the next accounting period, 2021. Okay? So, yun yung kahalagahan niya. The elements of financial position are the asset, liabilities, and of course, owner's equity account. The kinds of assets are current and non-current, while the kinds of liabilities are current and long-term liabilities or non-current liabilities. Under current assets are cash, receivables, inventories, and prepaid expenses. Take note, ayan, yung kanina, prepaid expenses. Non-current assets include land, building, equipment, and furniture, and their accumulated depreciation, while for current liabilities includes accounts payable, notes payable for the long-term liabilities. Okay? So, what do you need to reflect? You must buy only the important and the basic needs of the family or buy assets that has economic benefit in the future. So sabi ko nga, I suggest if you have a lot of money, it is advisable to buy an asset that can increase in value habang tumatagal kaysa sa isang asset na tawag doon na kakalabas mo pa lang nagde-depreciate na. So for example, sasakyan. We all know that car is an asset, belong to an asset, right? In the accounting. But in real life, it can be a liability or an asset. Who can defend your answer? Who can explain? Yes, Kyla.
Ma'am, pwede po siyang maging liability kung hindi po siya kinash. Pwede po siyang i-loan po, ma'am, di ba po? Tapos yung iba po nangungutang pa po sa bangko para po may pambayad. Kaya po siya nagiging liability. Tapos magiging asset naman po siya, ma'am, kapag full payment po siya.
Another explanation. But in reality, that is an asset. Tama? So, bakit ko sinasabing, including the building class? The building. Why? Remember that all of these things depreciates, right? So, ang kaya ko sinasabi na if you have the money, for example, parang pinag-iisipin mo kung bibili ka ba ng lupa or ng sasakyan. Think twice. Bakit ka ba bibili ng sasakyan? Make sure, class, na kapag bumili ka ng isang bagay, it will be really an asset. Not just sa accounting na asset siya. Dapat maging asset or meaning to say, useful talaga siya sa inyo. Okay? For example, if ever nabibili ako ng sasakyan, I make it a point na yung sasakyan ko can be used in my business. Hindi yung nakatenga lang dyan. Diba? For flashy, pang forma lang. Why? Kasi habang tumatagal yan, inilalabas pa lang natin yan sa bilihan ng sasakyan, automatic na depreciate na yung value niya. Bumaba na kaagad yung value niya. And what's more, remember my maintenance yan. Diba? Kailangan mo magpa-change oil, kailangan mo i-renew yung kanyang lisensya, and that will serve or that will become our liability. Regardless kung niloan natin yan or we paid it in cash. Tama naman yung sagot ni Kyla. Pero in the sense na paano ba magiging asset sa atin yung isang bagay? Dapat may kapakipakinabang. Okay? So for example, may tricycle ka, may sasakyan ka. Siyempre, for example, Lamborghini. Wow, ang ganda ng Lamborghini. Ano bang purpose muna ng sasakyan? It's for you to travel. Pero yes, nakabili ka nga ng sasakyan pero hindi mo magamit ang purpose kasi wala kang pambili ng gasolina. So that car become what? A liability na sa atin. Kasi nagbabayad nga tayo ng renewal pero hindi naman natin magamit-gamit. Dahil sa sobrang mahal niya, binabayaran pa natin siya. Wherein, nandun nga si tricycle, hindi siya ganun ka-flashy, pero punong-puno siya ng gasolina. wherein pwede niyang ma-serve yung purpose, which is to travel. Same goes kung bibili ka ng sasakyan, make sure na gamitin mo siya pang negosyo. Kumikita ka sa sasakyan na yon. Okay? Same as dun sa building. Kung hindi mo pinaparentahan yung building mo, naluluma siya. 'Di ba? So kapag may mag-rent, kailangan mo na naman gumastos ng maintenance. Okay? Wherein kung ang bibilhin yung asset is land at kinultivate mo siya, ang land kasi habang tumatagal ang panahon, tumataas yung value niya. 'Di ba? So kung dati yung daang kalikasan walang silbi, ngayon mas tumataas ng mga value niya. Lalo na kung nabili yung property sa mga nasa tabi ng kalsada, highway, mataas ang value niyan, class, tumataas yan. Kasi there's a possibility na maging, kung dati residential area siya, maging commercial area siya. Okay? Dati ang mura-mura ng lupa sa mga tarim. Ngayon, milyon na. Lalo na sa bayan. Diba? So, yun yung sinasabi ko. Make sure to buy something that has more value. Okay? O may economic benefit in the future. Sabi nga, we don't have cash, do not borrow money just to acquire it. However, if you have more than enough for your family, why not think of donating something for the less fortunate, specifically in this pandemic situation. So, yung sinasabi naman ng pag-donate ng something, it doesn't necessarily naman na, it can be in cash or in goods or in deeds, di ba? Just giving your time, kung wala kang pera, pwede yun. Lalo na in this crisis, di ba? So, being an accounting student, it is a must that you must practice solving certain problems. So later I'm going to post, this is also in preparation for you na rin. I don't know if you're going to join again the ABM Cup or magkakaroon ulit tayo ng ABM Cup. But gusto ko ngayon pa lang mahasa na kayo para kapag nagpa-eliminate tayo is meron tayong representative. Okay? So you need to practice, analyze certain problems kahit hindi na sakop ng topic natin. Sakop yung last time na topic natin, etc. Dapat mag-advance, read, and read. So, ang kakapal, if you want to pursue this career, ang kakapal po ng mga accounting books na kailangan yung basahin. Kasi there are different branches of accounting. Ewan ko kung naipakita ko sa inyo yung pictures. Yung time na nagkalkal ako ng mga accounting books. Okay? And may mga laws din tayo in relation to that. Okay? So for the assessment, of course, they will answer this one. Sagutin natin. So just like using the accounting equation, just derive the formula. Same goes here. Yan. So analyze. Okay? And for the reference, mga books, ito po yung mga ginamit para magawa yan. Anyway, dun sa binigay ko sa inyong activity naman, meron din doon. Okay? So dito naman, they will prepare. So just like what you did, you prepare your statement of financial position using the report form, that is the vertical. Okay? Using this data. Ayan. So that ends the review for the accounting one. So puro review tayo para paulit-ulit tayo. Now, let's proceed to the week 2, which is to identify the elements of statement of comprehensive income and describe each of them and prepare a statement of comprehensive income for a service business using a single step approach. Take note, ang example po dito is service business. Okay? So, don't worry, I will give you a buy and sell example. Yeah. So, they have the pretest. So, they will answer this one. Same. What are the two elements of financial? So, kayo nga, accounts in the statement of comprehensive income are permanent ba? / or temporary lang? So, remember, ang permanent, dun po tayo sa balance sheet. Diba? So the two elements of financial statement for statement of comprehensive income, ano lang bang nandun? You have the what? Ano lang yung accounting title na ginagamit natin sa pag-prepare ng income statement class?
Income and
Marketing.
expense.
Ha? Yes, Kyla?
Revenue po tas operating expenses.
Revenue. Not necessarily operating expenses, but expenses. Okay? Yeah. What else? So, formerly known as income statement. The statement of comprehensive income. Yan. Best approach for second proprietorship business includes gains and loss of hedging derivatives. Income is greater than plus will give you. So, madali na to. Okay, yun yung net loss or net profit. Okay? So here, we have used the accounting equation. So this is just a review from our previous lesson, which is the preparation of the balance sheet. So, dito ang nawawala yung owner's equity. So anong gagawin? To get it, just deduct 500 minus liabilities to get your owner's equity. Dito naman, nawawala yung asset, you just add. So, ganun lang. Dito naman, nawawala liabilities, then subtract again, 15, 10. So, ganun lang yan. Okay? So, let's proceed to the real topic. A statement of comprehensive income consists of all revenues, gains, and losses that cause the equity account to change at the end of the accounting period. They are nominal accounts or temporary accounts because at the end of the accounting period, balances under this account are transferred to the capital account, thus having only temporary amounts and resulting to zero as the balances at the beginning of the following year. Okay? So it is also a well-known for income statement. Okay? So ang tawag na dyan is statement of comprehensive income. Take note, they are not permanent but nominal or temporary account kasi ang result niya is zero balances at the beginning of the following year. So what are the elements of comprehensive income? So these are the heading. Mamaya papakita sa inyo. Okay? Heading is composed of company name, the statement of comprehensive income title, and the date starts with for the period ended. So ang nakalagay kanina, i-compare natin yung sa statement of financial position. Dito ang nakalagay is sa heading natin, kasi isa to sa mga nagkakamali. Sa heading natin is also the name of the company. Dito, statement of financial position. Sa income statement, statement of comprehensive is income. Tapos, yung sa date niya, nakalagay pag balance sheet is as of, then the date, end date. Okay? Sa statement of comprehensive income naman is for the period ended. Okay? Yung date niya. Then income are increases in economic benefits during the period in the form of inflows or enhancement of asset or decreases of liabilities that results in increase in equity other than those relating to investment by the business owner. Then expenses, on the other hand, are decreases in economic benefit during the period of the form of outflows or depletions of assets or increases of liabilities that results in increases in equity other than those relating to distributions to the business. So, yung last is it can be net income or net loss. Of course, it depends. If the income is higher and if you're going to deduct it with their expenses at mas mataas pa rin, meaning positive pa rin na magiging result. Kasi ang formula to compute for your net income or net loss is if you deduct the income or the revenue minus your expenses. Kapag mas higher ang income, you have a net income. If higher ang expenses, you have a net loss. Okay? It is the result of the operation. If the income is greater than expenses, then the result is net income. Well, if the expenses are greater than the income, then the result is net loss. Okay? So under the nature of expense method, so we have two methods. Okay? Under the nature of expense method, expenses are presented according to their nature. For example, depreciation, purchase materials, transport costs, employee benefits, and advertising costs, and are not reallocated among their functions within the entity. This method is easy to apply because no reallocation of expenses is necessary. Kaya usually most of the company use the expense method. Okay? The examples of comprehensive income are gains or losses in hedging derivatives, translation of foreign currency exchange rate adjustments, and of course, unrealized gains and losses on post-retirement benefits. So these are one of the examples. This is what you call the single-step approach. So in writing the statement of comprehensive income, you write the name of the company, the type of financial statement, then for the period ended. So usually nasa baba ito. Ay, hindi na. So pagkakamali na ng gumawa ng module nito. So nasa baba to class ha, dito yung kadugsong. Kala yung for the period ended. Okay? You write all the income, which is 5,000. Ililes mo na kaagad yung expenses. So usually kapag minus, hindi kami naglalagay ng minus sign. We just put an open and close parenthesis sa accounting natin. So minus 1,500. So your profit for the year or net income or net profit is 3,500. I-add mo tong other comprehensive income, meaning to say your income from other sources, 500. So yung total net income mo na is the 4,000 pesos. So shown below naman class is the format of statement comprehensive income with proper label of its element. Ito naka-proper label. Ito naka-single step approach. Tandaan na, ito naka-proper label. Okay? So this is the heading. Yan. So may mali na naman dito. So dapat ito tinam transport lang. Itong statement nasa baba to dapat, ha? Then yan, ganyan for the period. So that is the heading. So maybe sa editing part na nagagalaw kaya yun, may mga pagkakamali. So, in behalf sa gumawa ng module nito, ako na humihingi ng pasensya. Then, yung service revenue, kasi service business nga yun sa kanya, 50,000. Then sa expenses, ang ginawa niya is nilatag mo na lahat ng expenses sa left side. Then yung total sa kanilagay dito. Okay? Expenses. Then of course, net income or net loss. So in this case, it is a net income. Pag meron niyang open and close, it means it is a net loss. It is a net income because 50,000 is higher than 30,000. Means say the revenue is higher than the expenses. So positive pa rin ang sagot. Then they add another comprehensive income. It depends kung, for example, if you have what do you call this? If you have a savings, company savings, then your savings earn an interest. That is one of the interest income na pwedeng nasa other comprehensive income, which is 4,000. Their total net income is, of course, 24,000. So, yan po yung mga elements ng statement of comprehensive income. Your heading, revenue, expenses, and the net income. Okay? Ano tawag dito? This is the proper way or proper format of statement of comprehensive income. So ito, this is just another activity that they have to write. So this is the one example of gains or losses on hedging derivatives. Anyway, lahat naman ng sagot na yan, if they read this module, makikita lang yan dito. Ayan. Okay? Makikita lang yan dyan. May question ba before we proceed? Okay. So dito, same. How are you going to determine? So just like how you determine the asset, liability, and owner's equity, plus or minus lang yan. Okay? So this case, you just add 25,000 plus 10,000. That will serve as your net income, 35,000. So ganun lang pag-solve niya. Okay? So remember, a statement of comprehensive income consists of all revenues, gains, and losses that causes the equity account to change at the end of the accounting period. That could be an increase or a decrease. The difference between an income statement and comprehensive income is the latter consists of comprehensive income such as gains or loss of hedging derivatives, translation of currency exchange rate, and unrealized gains and losses of post-retirement benefits. Ayan na yung pagkakaiba ng income statement lang na word sa comprehensive income. Kasi sa comprehensive income nga, kino-consider yung exchange rate. Kasi there's a possibility, lalo na if your company dollars, for example, ang tinatanggap na currency, there's a possibility na yung dollar na yan mataas ang value or maliit ang value, depende. Diba? So, kino-convert din nila yon. Eh, kung ano ba yung current or ano ba yung actual value. For example, lalo na kung may mga savings kayo na, and of course, in-include din yung other gains, okay, or losses. Again, the four elements, emphasize natin, the heading, which consists of the name of the company, statement of comprehensive income, then, for the, yung word na for the period ended date. Sa statement of financial position, as of. Kasi isa yun sa mga nagkakamali din yung mga estudyante ko noon. So, there are two methods in preparation, according to nature and the according to function. So this module explains the former method, which is according to nature, is better for a single proprietorship business. Okay, so later on, we will give you naman another kind, lalo na sa tawag sa entrepreneurship ninyo, most of you will not are into buy and sell business, mga ganon. So, dapat alam din natin kung paano natin isulat yung mga ganon. So, it is advisable na kung magpuput at pala kayo ng business is mag-sole proprietorship muna kayo. Hindi ka pa kasi natin ngayon madidiscuss class yung partnership and corporation. Kasi there are also laws regarding that and medyo mas matrabaho, lalo na kung corporation. Diba? Kaya if you're going to design, and I advise you to design now, a sole proprietorship business. Okay? So, even if in reality na nag-contribution kayo, parang magsiset lang kayo ng isang owner. Okay? So, maybe the owner parang i-assume na lang na nanghiram sa inyo. Okay? So, this is another activity that they need. Oh, you may also answer this one to check whether you understand the topic. Her company has cash deposited in a bank account amounting to 50,000 as her initial capital. So, ang direction dito, you just put an emoji or smiley if it is part in the preparation of statement of comprehensive income, and A if it is not. Okay? So, dito, her company has deposited in a bank account amounting to 50,000 as her cash initial capital. Anong entry nito, class? Muna.
Mama, meron ako sabi. Asan po ba?
I don't know. Here, I use it. I charge it.
I have mother play.
Oh, you do your module. Don't interrupt mommy. Class, are you still in there? Hello? What do you think? Sa palagay nyo, class? Smiley lang or NA? Kasama ba to sa pagpe-prepare ng statement of financial income?
Hindi po, ma'am.
NA, ma'am.
Mali tuloy ako. Statement of comprehensive income. Di nyo man lang ako kinorek. Pinaghalo ko balance sheet. So this is NA. Why?
Statement of financial position po siya, ma'am, kasi po yung sa capital po.
Yes. How about this one? She bought parlor furniture set amounting to 75,000 by paying 20% down and the balance in 12 monthly installments. I-entry nyo nga, review na rin natin siyempre sa journal entry natin. When you bought a parlor furniture set to amounting of 75,000, anong debit, anong credit mo na dyan? Yes, Mr. Kayabyad.
Ma'am, yung debit po ma'am is yung furniture ma'am. Tas yung credit po ma'am is yung accounts payable po.
Yun lang? Analyze. Hindi magiging balance yan. I want you to tell me the exact amount. For example, debit furniture 75,000. Then, sabi mo accounts payable how much?
Ma'am, ano po pala ma'am, cash pa po pala ma'am. Kasi nag-down po pala siya ng 20%, parang nagbigay po siya ng cash. Tapos
Yes.
installment na po yung iba. Bali po ma'am, 75,000.
Dapat may nakahanda kayong malaking calculator, ha? Nasa analyzation pa lang tayo.
Bali po ma'am, yung cash po ma'am is 15,000 po ma'am. Tapos yung accounts payable niya po ma'am is 60,000 po.
So, is it included or not?
Ma'am, no po ma'am, kasi po sa statement of financial position po yung dun sa may current liabilities, ganun po ma'am. At saka yung cash, yung asset po.
Very good. How about number 3? Supplies expense for the month is 20,000. What is the entry first?
Income statement po, ma'am.
Yes, Kyla, income statement. But I want you to give me the entry. Paano mo nasabing income statement? Or statement of comprehensive income.
Ma'am, kasi po supplies expense po siya.
So the entry is debit. Anong debit? Anong
Ma'am,
credit?
debit po yung sa supplies po. Tapos yung yung credit po. Ay, ma'am, yung ma'am, credit po, ma'am, cash. Tapos yung debit po, supplies expense.
Mhm. So kaya, smiley ang sagot dyan. So, huwag kayong malilito class kung ang credit or debit ay supplies or supplies expense. Okay? So always remember, if there's an increase in expense, tandaan mo yung plus or minus sign natin. Naalala nyo pa yon yung una kong diniscuss.
Yes po ma'am.
Drawing lang kayo ng ganun class, madali na sa inyo yon. And usually kapag sa adjusting entry naman, nare-reverse. Supplies and supplies expense naman yung magkatandem. Usually ganun. Okay? Yun, wag niyong kakalimutan yan. Kasi once na isa puso nyo na yon, madali na sa inyo yung mga ganito. Okay? So anyway, hindi na sasagutan. Para naman may sagutan naman yung iba. Di ba? So you may continue answering this one as part of your, what do you call this, as part of your review later on. Don't worry, it will be posted naman. Okay? So in this activity naman, in this post-test, you need to prepare a statement of comprehensive income for the following independent transactions. You may use your surname. Yan. So for example, Sibayan. Ganyan. Sibayan. O Lamine, yung bago kong ipuput up na company. So I'm no longer connected sa Golden Bake Shop. I will put up my own company. Lamine. From the root word lamitni, Bisayan word lami, which means masarap ito. Yan. So you include all. You need to identify first all the income. Then all the salaries. Then add the other income. Then subtract. Kung mas mataas si expenses, you have a net loss. Kung mas mataas si service revenue, you have a net profit or net income. So, ganun lang po ang pagpe-prepare natin. I will not prolong you guys kasi overtime na tayo, 11:33. Let's just finish this. So, sabi nga dito, Manila lockdown has crippled many businesses in the Philippines. Since many businesses were closed during the ECQ, many employees were displaced from work. The income of the displaced employees becomes zero while the expenses are still the same as that of the normal business situation. I hope your parents or other members of the family are not among them. Assess and enumerate all your family income and expenses during the lockdown. List down all the strategies. This is your take-home class, ha? Ito ang ipapagawa ko sa inyo. Kasi personal. Okay? I want you to, ito yung output of the day ninyo. Mapuputa pa ko doon ng, of course, doon sa mga digital and printed ko, lahat ng activities dito is gagawin nila. Okay? But for you, being my online student, ito lang part na to. Okay? Yan lang. Yung last part. Okay? And of course, you need to read it again in preparation for your quiz. So what are you going to do? List down all strategies, measures your family did in order to survive since the aid from the government agencies such as local and national were not enough to sustain the 2.5 months lockdown. The income, ano sabi niya? Assess and enumerate all your family's income and expenses during the lockdown. You may choose yung year lang or pwede ring this year lang or yung 2 years, 2.5 na lockdown na yon at bubuo po kayo ng ganito. Okay? You may use your surname. Then iligay niyo doon. After nyo ma-prepare ito, ilagay nyo yung strategies. What are your strategies did to survive? Diba? Okay? So, if you have no more questions, you may also visit this one, Accounting Coach, so that you may have more readings. Kasi may mga site po tayo na pwede nyong i-test ang sarili ninyo kung tama ba yung ginawa nyong entry, actual, na i-check din yun. So siguro sa mga susunod, i-introduce ko sa inyo yon para at least, even if wala tayong session or vacant ninyo, you can practice your accounting skills. So do you have any question, class? So, siguro kung bukas yung PE, sa Sunday ko na lang siguro i-post yung accounting. Basta kailangan kasi ma-post ko muna ito sa YouTube channel nang sa ganun mapanood ng ibang hindi naka-attend po sa session natin. Okay? Ang mamaya ko kasing ipopost is yung session natin last time. 1 video a day lang po kasi ang pwedeng ma-post daw sa YouTube. Yun pala naging problema kung bakit nakailang try na ako attempt, ayaw pa rin niya mag-post. Okay? So, please prepare for your quiz. That is a 25 items quiz. Lahat po ng diniscuss ko from the start up to this week. Okay? Yes, my problem solving. So, you need your calculator. So, if you have no internet connection during that time, you can pass your answer. Just inform me sa GC, pero it will be posted dun sa Google Classroom. But if you're capable naman to pass it in the Google Classroom, please do so para nakakompact naman yung yung output natin. At mas madali ko na-trace ay ito nakapag-submit na. Kasi minsan natatabunan yung pala nagsasubmit na yung estudyante ko, nasa request messages ko pa. Mas priority ko naman sa mga yung nagpapasa ng output sa via PM, via messenger, is yung mga printed ko class and digital na talagang hirap na hirap. Okay? So that's all. May question po ba? May request po ba kayo? Hindi ko pa masyadong nasisettle po yung gamit namin dito sa bahay. Kagulo pa. Kasi alam niyo naman, kakalipat ko lang uli sa shop. Eh, syempre, pinahinga ko muna at mahirap ng mabinat. Pero hopefully this coming Saturday, Sunday, makita ko na mga dapat makita at may arrange na uli yung mga books ko dito sa sa bahay. Do you have any questions? Tas lahat ng request ninyo ma-send ko na. Okay? May question po ba? I hope you're doing a screenshot ha. Wala akong ka-screenshot sa session natin. So after this session, I will download it kapag wala ng klase yung mga anak ko. Then bukas ko na maipopost yan kasi mamaya ang ipopost ko yung session natin last time. Kasi kapopost ko lang din sa PE namin. May question po ba? Class?
Ma'am, wala na po.
Wala na po.
Parang ilan lang yung mga estudyante ko. Ayan. So kindly give me, if you have a list, then also, pakigive na sa akin yung final list na talaga. Final list ng AYALA and final list ng, pa-forward na lang sa akin. Okay? That's all. Goodbye. Paki-open cam nga muna. And mag-screenshot kayo. Ayan. Ako, I admit, tumataba po ako sa pandemic na ito. Buti pa si Erica, makailang TikTok na. Yung anak ko, natututo ng mag-TikTok. Na-invade na yung aking cellphone na puno na. Ayan. Pa-screenshot na lang po, lalo na sa mga laptop dyan. Kayo na mag-screenshot.
Out of pin.
Pa-screenshot po ulit, pa-open po ng cam. Yan. Goodbye, class. Sana may nag-screenshot sa inyo. Ido-document natin yan, portfolio ulit. Don't forget. Okay? Same template dun sa applied economics natin. Okay? So hopefully naka-folder. Okay, class. Goodbye and see you next week.
Bye, ma'am.
Bye.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you po.
Uy, Ben.
Yung may leave na, kain na kayo.